I thought I would read you some of my favourite Franz Kafka stories, just 2 or 3 or 4, and he's the writer for the Times. They're very brief, they're his shorter stories from a book called The Collected Works of Franz Kafka. This is called The Trees. For we are like tree trunks in the snow. In appearance they lie sleekly, and a little push should be enough to set them rolling. No, it can't be done, for they're firmly wedded to the ground. But see, even that is only appearance. Excursion into the mountains. I don't know, I cried without being heard. I don't know. If nobody comes, then nobody comes. I've done nobody any harm, nobody's done me any harm, but nobody will help me. A pack of nobodies. Yet that isn't all true, only that nobody helps me. A pack of nobodies would be rather fine. On the other hand, I'd love to go on an excursion. Why not? With a pack of nobodies. Into the mountains, of course, where else? How these nobodies jostle each other, all these lifted arms linked together, these numberless feet treading so close. Of course they're all in dress suits. We go so gaily the wind blows through us and the gaps in our company. Our throats swell and we are free in the mountains. It's a wonder that we don't burst into song. The street window. Whoever leads a solitary life and yet now and then wants to attach himself somewhere, whoever, according to changes in the time of day, the weather, the state of his business and the like, suddenly wishes to see any arm at all to which he might cling, he will not be able to manage for long without a window looking on to the street. And if he's in the mood of not desiring anything and only goes to his window sill a tired man, with eyes turning from his public to heaven and back again, not wanting to look out and having thrown his head up a little, even then the horses below will draw him down into their train of wagons and tumult, and so at last into the human harmony. This is called absent-minded window gazing. What are we to do with these spring days that are now fast coming on? Early this morning, the sky was grey. But if you go to the window now, you're surprised and lean your cheek against the larch of the casement. The sun is already setting, but down below you see it lighting up the face of the little girl who strolls along, looking about her. And at the same time, you see her eclipsed by the shadow of the man behind, overtaking her. And then the man has passed by, and the little girl's face is quite bright. Passes by. When you go walking by night up a street and a man, visible a long way off, for the street mounts uphill and there is a full moon, comes running toward you, well, you don't catch hold of him, not even if he is a feeble and ragged creature, not even if someone chases yelling at his heels, but you let him run on. For it's night, and you can't help it if the street goes uphill before you in the moonlight, and besides, these two have maybe started that chase to amuse themselves, or perhaps they're both chasing a third. Perhaps the first is an innocent man and the second wants to murder him and you would become an accessory. Perhaps they don't know anything about each other and are merely running separately home to bed. Perhaps they are night birds. Perhaps the first man is armed. And anyhow, haven't you a right to be tired? Haven't you been drinking a lot of wine? You're thankful that the second man is now long out of sight. And this is my favourite, my very favourite. It's called The Wish to be a Red Indian. Ah, if one were only an Indian, instantly alert, and on a racing horse, leaning against the wind, kept on quivering jerkily over the quivering ground, until one shed one's spurs, for there needed no spurs, threw away the reins, for there needed no reins, and hardly saw that the land before one was smoothly shorn heath, when horse's neck and head would be already gone. I'll read you some more some other time. Good night.